one? Or will he be number one? I guess that's more the question. Damian Woody and Peter Schrager join us now. And now we've had a little bit of time to reflect. We haven't had any major breaking news yet so far today. What was your favorite move you saw go down yesterday? Schrags, why don't you go first?
I thought the Carolina Panthers had an incredible franchise-changing day. They paid two players, Jalen Phillips and Devin Lloyd, who are cornerstone pieces at positions that matter. Jalen Phillips, an edge rusher in free agency. Very rarely do these players come up. The Eagles thought they had him in line, and the Panthers paid him a boatload of money. And you say, well, they might have overpaid. You don't overpay for an edge rusher that has a market. Devin Lloyd, a culture guy who had that pick six against the Chiefs for the Jaguars on Monday Night Football. Two excellent players and cornerstones for a team that won the division, made the playoffs, and are eventually going to have to pay Bryce Young. I thought Dan Morgan, the general manager, and Brant Tillis, their salary cap guru, did a wonderful job of managing this. Look, it's not going to win the day with headlines. It's not a razzle-dazzle team with Carolina Panthers. But in an NFC South that is for the taking, I thought the Carolina Panthers got much better than they were yesterday in the hours that led up to last night's ending of the free agent frenzy.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Malik Willis. I think, so much about free agency, the unknown about a player's background, because obviously a player's not in the building. Well, you talk about the Miami Dolphins, you talk about a fit that just makes a lot of sense for the Dolphins because the whole regime came from Green Bay. You got Jeff Hafley, former defensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers. He practiced against Malik Willis. He saw him every day in the building. John Eric Sullivan, the GM, obviously came from Green Bay. John Robinson, the former Titans GM, he's now in Miami. He's the one that drafted Malik Willis in Tennessee. And so when you have all this knowledge about a player, it makes you feel a lot better. And the fact that they didn't have to break the bank with Malik Willis. This is all about projection, what they project, because his body of work is so small. But from what we've seen in his small sample size, like this dude has tremendous upside. Can you imagine him in the backfield with Devon Achane? Like those two athletic guys? Like there's a lot of things schematically you can do with both of those guys. And if it doesn't work out, it's not like you hamstrung to the quarterback. You can get off of him after a year or so in that contract. So I really like what Miami did with signing Malik Willis.
A small sample size for us, but obviously that coaching staff has seen him right day in and day out. What about you?
I agree with Woody. I'm not disagreeing with Peter because I give Peter's points, and obviously we saw Carolina, have a decent season and give respect to them where to do. They were far more competitive than any of us had anticipated, and the growth of Bryce Young can't be ignored and can't be understated. So I get where Peter's coming from. I'm just thinking about the quarterback position, Peter, and I'm thinking about what Woody just said, and I think that he has a very valid point. In the three starts that Malik Willis had this year, 612 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, not a single interception. You got to pay attention to that. And again, the familiarity with the coaches in Green Bay, that goes a long way as well. Then you talk about the team that he went to. Who did he go to? You went with a team with an explosive running back in Achane. You went to a team with an explosive wide receiver in Waddle. Do they need another wide receiver? Absolutely. Could they use a tight end? Absolutely. Could they use a right guard? Absolutely. But correct me if I'm wrong, Pete, I think they got like 8 draft picks coming up. So they've got the maneuverability. They can utilize the draft to really, really buffer their roster as well. So the key order of the day was to make sure that you had a quarterback, because with everything that we just said, if you don't have there's nothing else that's going to matter for you because you're not going to get it done. Carolina appears as shocking as it is to me because he's so miniature. Bryce Young, he's so miniature. As shocking as it is, he gave them a lot of reason to believe in him going into next season. So having those pieces around him go a long way. Miami didn't have that. They desperately needed a quarterback. And unlike the Pittsburgh Steelers, my Pittsburgh Steelers, they went out and got one in Malik Willis, who I wanted to end up in Pittsburgh.
What I thought was interesting, I thought the Steelers actually had a great day yesterday, and they added a lot of offensive firepower, but who's going to be their quarterback? And I'm like, do they have someone in mind to actually figure out how they're going to? Exactly.
Unfortunately, it's the 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers, and I had somebody out of Pittsburgh just tell me this morning. They said, they just text me this morning. I ain't saying their name because I don't have their permission to do so. But they said to me, keep your eyes on Omar Khan. They said, because they knew I got on them a few weeks ago. And they said, with Tomlin gone, he now gets to make some decisions. I was under the impression that he was making the decision. Mm-hmm. They're like, nah. Now we get to see what he is going to do. And my response to them was, fine. one of them better be a damn quarterback. Because until I see a quarterback in Pittsburgh, I'm not believing in a damn thing they're selling. Nothing. Sell, sell, sell. I'm telling everybody in Steeler Nation and beyond, don't buy a damn thing they're saying until they show you they have a quarterback that you can look towards the future with. I'm not talking about somebody that's 42 years old that's just going to be there for the next season. I'm talking about until they show you. We've been searching for a quarterback for a half a decade. Until they get you a quarterback, don't buy a damn thing they're selling. It means nothing.
They might do that in the draft.
That's what I'm saying. But now it's become attractive with the moves that they've made so far in free agency. Coming up here on First Take, Dan Orlowski had some comments about Lamar Jackson.
Factor, because he scared off Dan Graziano from his own segment. On an Overreaction Tuesday, it's just going to be Damien Woody. The Damien Woody. You know what I mean? You got to battle the man in the mirror. Actually, it was just Khan's issue from Graziano. Hey, D-Dub, great to see you. We're going to just start things off with what Kansas City did, signing Kenneth Walker III. Does that mean the Kansas City's old offense being back? Overreaction or not?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's an overreaction because their offense was never based on the running game. It was always based on those explosive plays from Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. But with Kenneth Walker III, now you're going to take some of those. You're going to take some pressure off of Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes too many times had his cape on and they depended on him to make plays. They needed a semblance of a running game, explosive aspect to the running game, and that's what Kenneth Walker III is going to bring to the Kansas City Chiefs.
What about this, D-Dub? The Ravens paid too much for Max Crosby. Is that an overreaction?
Oh, that's an overreaction. Listen, you only pull these type of moves if you feel like you're on the cusp and the Baltimore Ravens are one of these teams that we feel like is going to be a Super Bowl contender. And Max Crosby is arguably the best two-way player, defensive player that we have in the game. He's very good against the run, and he's an elite closer in the passing game. So, for Baltimore, this is a great situation to have a guy like Max Crosby and his leadership over with that organization.
Free agency just getting started, but in the early infancy of 2026's version, give us a story that we're underreacting to so far, D-Dub.
Yeah, how about Malik Willis down with the Miami Dolphins? And listen, you're talking about a projection right here, but can you imagine Malik Willis in the same backfield with Devon Achane? Like the athletic ability in that backfield alone will scare a lot of defense. And listen, those guys down there with the Miami Dolphins, obviously they came from the Green Bay Packers. Jeff Hafley, new head coach, they've seen this guy every day in practice. They know what this guy is capable of going up against his Green Bay Packers defense. So I'm really excited to see what Malik Willis is going to be doing down there in Miami.
Certainly made the most of his time in the last 2 seasons there in Green Bay, and now gets a fresh start down there in South Beach. Damien Woody joining us this morning on SportsCenter to do a little overreacting on a Tuesday. Thanks, D-Dub.